96亿美元，
The business
占
value
同期总
has
额的
reached 9.6 billion US dollars,
54.5%。
accounting for
二是
54.5%.
跨境并购稳步发展。
Second, cross-border
1到2
M&A
月，
has
我国
enjoyed
企
steady
业共
development.
实施
From
完
January
成
to
跨境并购
February,
项目45
our
起，
country's businesses have
分布在英国、
achieved
中国
45
香港、
projects
马来
of
西亚
M&A
等22个国家和地
cross-border
区。
distributed in UK, China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and other countries and regions involving manufacturing, finance, leasing, and commercial services, and the total industries involved are 12. And the real actual trading value registered 2.48 billion US dollars. The direct investment registered 1.85 billion US dollars. The third, external investment structure have been diversified. Irrational investment have been effectively curbed. From January to February, the foreign investment have mainly flowed to leasing and commercial services, manufacturing and wholesale and retail, accounting for 28.2%, 20.5%, 10.2%. And the investment flow into manufacturing registered 3.21 billion US dollars, year-on-year increase of 16.7%. Real estate, sports and entertainment, external investment. In these fields, we do not have new projects. The fourth, the foreign contractual projects have increased a lot. From January to February, the newly contractual value, and there are 86 such projects, accounting for 81.6%. The external contractual values business are concentrated in transport and power engineering, accounting for over 60%, effectively improved the infrastructure facility in host countries. From January to February in 2019, the relevant departments have established a new and M&A external investment businesses, the number of which reached 618. And the investment based on agreement registered 9.8 billion US dollars, and non-financial external investment enterprises are numbered 614. And China's investment based on agreement reached 9.37 billion US dollars, and financial foreign direct investment enterprises numbered 4, and China's investment based on agreement registered 510 million US dollars. And thank you. I'm with Xinhua News Agency, according and Wall Street Journal, that the Financial Minister will have the neutral visit, and Mr. Liu will go to Washington for the visit, and the consultation has entered the final round. Can you confirm this, and how do you comment on this? Thank you for your question. The Politburo member and Deputy Premier, Mr. Liu He, has consulted with the delegation of the U.S. And the Secretary of the State have the consultation in terms of the China-U.S. trade. We have agreed that we will, by 18th to 19th of March, U.S. will visit China, and will held the 8th round of a high-level China-U.S. consultation. Vice Premier Mr. Liu He will go to Washington. We'll have the 9th round of high-level consultation. Now, the next question. Thank you. I'm with Zhongxin News Agency, and President Xi Jinping will visit France. And please introduce us the China-France trade and China's expectation on the China-France trade. Thank you for your question. In recent years, with the care and push of the leaders from both China and France, our bilateral trade has been deepened. First, the bilateral trade has been developing soundly In 2018, the bilateral trade value reached $60 billion, reaching $262 billion, a year-on-year increase of 15.5%, a new historical high. And bilateral trade has been sound. The French agricultural products and medical products, and China's cosmetic products and clothing and the featured products have been increasing. During the first China-Europe Expo, the 69 French enterprises have participated. Sorry, the signal is weak. In the development and who will borrow each other's advantages, and these guiding principles have been recognized and accepted by increased number of countries and peoples. The opportunities for building the Belt and Road together, and the results are benefiting increased number of people. Italy in history is the important joint for the Belt. We welcome Italy to continue to participate in the Road and Belt initiative, and in recent years, the pragmatic cooperation between China and Italy have enjoyed a boom. And recently, China is the biggest trading partner in Asia and the third importing country in Asia, and Italy is the fifth trading partner in Europe for China. In 2018, the bilateral trade has reached over $50 billion, a year-on-year increase of 9.41%. In January, bilateral trade continued to increase, a year-on-year increase of 8.9%. Bilateral byway trade has increased a lot, exceeding $20 billion. China's investment to Italy has reached $15 billion, and Italy's investment in China has reached $7.34 billion. And in terms of infrastructure investment, finance, Medicare, and tourism, we still have room for cooperation. The Belt and Road Initiative is based on openness and win-win situation, welcome all countries to discharge the guiding principle of win-win situation and to achieve a common development and so as to benefit countries and peoples. The concerns of the countries are not necessary. China is willing to work with Italy to open a new chapter for the bilateral trade. Thank you. Thank you. With the FNU. The foreign investment law has been deliberated, so the industry has been focusing the implementing rules and in terms of the supporting rules and regulations. What is the progress and what are the areas for regulations specifically? Thank you. Thank you for your question. We know that the March the 15th, the 13th, the second session of the 15th MPC has deliberated on the foreign investment law in order to ensure the smooth implementation of this law. Now the Ministry of Commerce has been working with relevant departments to press ahead the supporting rules and regulations formulation work. At the same time, the Ministry of Commerce has been improving the foreign investment laws and regulations. In this process, we will actively and earnestly listen to the foreign invested enterprises' opinions and suggestions. Thank you. Thank you. I'm with China News Media. According to the customs statistics, in the first 2 months, the export and import value has increased by 15.7%. But according to another source, that we have dropped over 10%. I'd like to ask you. Thank you for your question. In the first 2 months of this year, the export and import value has calculated by US dollars has dropped because of the Spring Festival. The foreign trading enterprises will have the concentrated export before the Spring Festival. From the historical statistics, in Spring Festivals, our export value has fluctuation. This year's Spring Festival is 11 days ahead of last year's. This has led to the impacts of Spring Festival being concentrated in February. Just now you have mentioned the factors about the China-US frictions, and this is also one of the factors. According to our calculation, last year, some enterprises have been influenced, and there are concentrated import and export. And so this has left limited room for Spring Festival's import and export. According to our knowledge, the import and export increase rate will be recovered, and in the first quarter, our export and import will be steady. Though our external environment face more uncertain values, but our driving force in our country have been increasing. In the next step, will continue to implement the foreign trade policy implementation and to have more accumulation of the foreign policies, and we will support the cross-border e-commerce and other new business types, and press ahead comprehensively the mechanism of the foreign investment trade, foreign trade. Thank you. I'm from Russia and from March the 16th and 19th, the Board Forum of Asia will be held, and Mr. Wang Shuwen, Deputy Minister, will attend this important meeting. So, what's your expectation on this Board Forum for Asia? Thank you for the question. Just now, the global protectionism is surging, multilateral trade mechanism have been challenged, and this has great impact on uncertainties for the sound development of the global trade. Against this backdrop, all parties have been attached great importance for the Board Forum for Asia and have high expectations. We hope that this forum can support the multilateralism and free trade. The theme of this trade is common destiny, common action, and common development. So in terms of the open economy, multilateralism, regional cooperation, global governance, and we will have held such talks around these topics. The Ministry of Commerce will hold and participate in the free trade zone, global governance, WTO reform, and other sub-forum activities. And we're willing to join with other experts and leaders, and we'll utilize this forum, which is open in terms of the global economic governance, in facilitating the trade liberalization, global governance, and open economy. In terms of this, we'll have specific discussions, and we'll show the world the active signals to the world. Thank you. Thank you. And with Commerce News, we have noticed that the retail value has dropped over 60%, which is a historical record. So we have seen that in 2000. What's your expectation on 2019? So our e-commerce, in past decades, our retail market has been increasing fast. In 2018, the retail value has exceeded $9 trillion. This is 6 years in a row we have maintained the first place in the world. Currently, our network, our internet e-commerce retail market has two distinctive features. The first, the increase in speed is high. The retail, e-commerce retail is an important driving force for consumption. From the first 2 months of this year, the food retail value has reached $1.1 trillion, up 9.9%, and 11.3 percentage points than the overall social. Compared with last year, up 6.6%. Second, the model structure of the internet retail have been optimized. Enterprises with quality and business services up 3.3%. And we have been advancing towards personalization. And we have been advancing towards the high quality growth. And the benefits of the internet growth has been weakened. And the increasing speed have dropped, which cater to the economic growth pattern. And the industry base, mode, innovation, user habits have not changed. In 2019, the retail market will enjoy sound development, and we have confidence. Next, we will continue to monitor the changes in the internet retail market, and we will study the regulations to standardize the retail market. And we will press ahead the sound development based on innovation of this market. Thank you. Thank you. I'm with 21st Economic Century, and the high-level meeting of the UN will be held in Brussels. And what are China's actions to facilitate the South-South cooperation? Thank you for your question. Just now, as the second UN South-South high-level meeting from 20 to 22nd of March will be held in Brazil. The Vice Premier Fu Chunhua will lead Chinese delegation to attend this meeting and has delivered important speeches, and South-South cooperation is a platform for the developing countries to cooperate and pursue common development. As the effective supporting supplementary to the South-North cooperation, South-South cooperation has been important to facilitate sustainable development, and it has played an active and constructive role. As the biggest developing country in the world, China has always been a firm supporter, active participant, and important contributor of this South-South cooperation. China will continue to adhere to the win-win situation cooperation, and China will do its utmost to shoulder the responsibilities catered to its now national situation development stage. China is willing to join hands with the developing countries to cooperate to face the challenges and achieve common development. China will help more developing countries to enter China's deep market and share China's opportunities. Will encourage and expand our investment in developing countries in terms of poverty relief, agriculture, health and infrastructure, technology training and education. These are the important areas of cooperation. We'll increase our efforts of cooperation and share our experience of development and improving the living standards of these countries and increasing their capacity of development. And we're willing to cooperate with other ministries based on the principles joint contribution, joint development and joint sharing. And this will inject new vitality to South-South cooperation. Thank you. Thank you. President Mr. Trump has said that in the next period, China will maintain its tariff on China. And what's China's countermeasures? Thank you. Just now, I have introduced you. Deputy Vice Premier Mr. Liu He has consulted with the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Finance in U.S. As for the specific details, we do not have more information for you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm with Beijing Commercial Newspaper. The foreign investment laws has commissioned the power for some areas, and this will increase the imbalance situation of different regions, and the vicious competition will increase. Just now, thank you. Just now, I mentioned that the Ministry of Commerce has worked with relevant departments to press ahead the formulation of the relevant supporting laws and regulations regarding the foreign investment law. In this process, we'll actively listen to the opinions and suggestions of various parties. Thank you. Are there any questions? If no questions, and then this press conference is over. Thank you.